Okay, so I had a little technical difficulty with that last one. So I'm here. Um, Hopefully, if anyone wanted to watch this, they are able to find me. So let me just get my camera all set up. Okay. So I'm just going to go through kind of what I do on a nightly basis with my record keeping, memory keeping, planning, all of those things. And yeah, let me see if I can do anything in that last one. Oh, I guess, yeah, there we go. All right. So here is what I'm going to be using. So I have my iPad Pro, and this is what I'm going to use to check. Sorry, you're getting the glare from my ring light. This is what I'm going to use to check my emails and my calendar and all of that. So I'm going to put that off to the side. And then I have my Hobonichi Cousin, which I use for my memory keeping and journaling. And so that's going to also come a little bit later. And then I have my Hobonichi Day Free, which is in a Galen Leather Co. Zippered A5 notebook, and it has a Hobonichi Day Free inside. I do have a new sticker for those of you who watch. One of my students, he has a behavior plan that I put together, and he earns points for different things. He gets to cash in those points, and so he really loves South Park, and he banked up some points and was able to cash them in, and he actually used some of those points to select a sticker to give to me, and I actually asked him where I should put it, and he thought this was the right spot for it. He also did give a couple of stickers to other people, and I gave him some bonus points. One for being, he got one set of bonus points for being thoughtful because he selected a sticker that he knew a teacher would like. It was their favorite character from South Park. And the other he got for being kind because he gave a sticker to somebody that he worked with last year. And so those are just some of the things that I like to provide some natural positive consequences or rewards for to shape up those sets of behaviors. I like to promote being kind and thoughtful and compassionate. And so then I was also able to use that as a training opportunity for the staff that I work with. So getting into, and I'm just realizing there was something that I had wanted to cover up. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of washi and lay that on down. I didn't do it wonderfully nicely, so I'm going to grab just a little bit more. There we go. Okay. So here is my week, which I will get into when I do my weekly planning. But for the purposes of this evening, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark off that I did finish my journaling. Let's see, I've already done my workout, my skincare budget, and I'm going to be working on memory keeping and journaling for today. And I did my cycle workout this morning. I did, let's see, it is Thursday. So apparently when I set up health insurance, I put the wrong date of birth for my husband. Super embarrassing, but I did it. So now I got to undo it. So yeah, I called them, but they were already closed for the day. So I'm going to call back tomorrow, which is why I'm marking it with a half slash, not a full slash, because it's not done. And then I put together this, and this is what I do love about the Day Free is I can use it much like a bullet journal and have it meet my needs. So I have a number of students that I have to put together some plans for. So I put the student names on this side and I've covered them up very messily, but that's okay. And then I have the different steps or pieces that I need to go through in order to get that full comprehensive plan put together. And so I'm marking off when I'm doing those different things, and I created columns and did line spacing because there are going to be things that are worked on multiple days. It's not generally something that's you sit down, do it, and it's done. So that's what I'm doing right here. And there's one particular student that you can see I've spent a little bit more time on, and that student was a bit more emergent. That's my love bug with the stickers. And I got an email from the parents today saying he seems to be really on board with this plan, and he's aware of kind of how it works, and has been going home and bragging about what he's been cashing in his points for. So that's excellent. So that's what this page is. And then we get into today. So I'm going to open up my iPad, and I am going to keep it off to the side just because, you know, confidentiality. But I'm going to go and look at and I tend to look at my sent mail as a way of looking at the things that I did. And so when I pull up my sent mail, and I'm going to go to this morning. Oh, I have more sent mail than I thought. So I had to share access to my work calendar to a variety of people. Because I work across the district, when I have people from a specific building who want to have a meeting with me, it's a lot easier for me to say, here's my calendar. Look at the availability of all the people that you are in a hallway with and just plop something in there. So I did that. And then let's see. I had to look up documents for a student from last year. And I had to send those to the upper elementary staff. Anytime a student changes buildings, they're changing whole teams of people. And so what I'm finding out is that there's a lot of information that didn't get transferred over from one set of professionals to the other. And so I'm having to figure all of that out and clean it up. So I shared a lot of those documents. I reviewed an upper elementary student IEP, and then I sent some talking points to an administrator who was having a phone call with that student's parent just on things that I knew the parent was going to bring up as a concern, but there was language in their IEP that pertained to it. So I thought it was important to point that out because the administrator is also new. So it's just a lot of new people right now, and that's the nature of education and special education. I am enjoying a glass of wine this evening. So this is a sweet white wine from a winery in down on the Cape. Hello, Fritz. Thank you for joining. So any comments I am going to respond to in this video, just because I only have a couple of hands and I'm not going to be able to type and write at the same time. And then let's see. I requested documents from upper elementary team regarding a middle school student. Yes, Priscilla, wine is amazing. I love to have a glass a night. It's a little treat. I remember thinking when I was in my early 20s that, that's what adults do. Adults come home from work and they have a nice glass of wine. And so when I have those days where I do have a glass of wine, I feel like I made it. I feel like I'm doing something right. I had to email an assistant principal regarding incident reports for a middle school student who's being a little nudgy, and so they want me to put together a plan for him, but I need to understand a little bit more what is going on. I then had to follow up and email a specific person regarding missing lower elementary documents. And I sent an email summary to a middle school parent about how the student did yesterday and today. And then, actually, while I was at dinner, I had an administrator ask me via email a recommendation for a student or to give to a parent for the student's arrival tomorrow because they're struggling with arrival. So I sent some arrival plan suggestions. And then I'm going to note that I called Blue Cross Blue Shield about my husband's date of birth, but like I said, their office was closed, and he picked up a prescription this evening for a higher strength naproxen, which is Aleve. I don't know if anyone knows this, but naproxen is Aleve, and apparently it wasn't covered by insurance, and this is a new insurance. So I also need to call Blue Cross Blue Shield regarding that prescription, because that really should have been something that was $2, not $24. That's just silly. It's a nice sweet wine. I do prefer white. I love a red, but I do prefer white. All right, so that's what I was able to get done today. I also did have a board of director meeting. So I should actually note that I reached out to one of the other board of directors about, what was it that I said I would handle? I'm going to handle the itinerary. So we have a annual conference coming up in May, and I am on the conference committee. I'm also one of the board of directors. And so pre-COVID, I actually handled the itineraries. And what that means is the speakers that are coming from out of town, I will set up their transportation from the airport to the venue and back and get all of that settled. So I'll be reaching out to the speakers about their itineraries for arrival and departure times, and then working with a local transportation company to set up cars to pick them up and drop them off and such. So that will be something that I take point on for this conference. And I got plenty of time. because it's not till May. So that's good. Let me think, was there anything else? Oh, I sent an email to Aiden's teachers. There was an open house last night and they did a phenomenal job, absolutely amazing job. And turns out I saw some of them today because one of the buildings I work out of is the building that my son goes to school at. And so I saw some of those teachers today and they told me how nervous they were that I was there, and that just blows me away. But I wanted to make sure that I gave them some feedback about how well I thought that they did. All right, so now I just heard it, now I'm going to turn it back. We're getting into tomorrow, so let's do some planning for tomorrow. So thank goodness tomorrow is Friday. And it is a long weekend. I have Monday off because of Yom Kippur. Hi, Tina. Welcome. And I've noticed this month I've really gone back and forth between doing block lettering versus script when writing the day. Tomorrow's the 22nd. Yes, it is. So I did cursive here, but then here I did block lettering, and then I did cursive and block lettering here, block lettering, cursive. So it was very interesting, my choices. I just kind of did what felt right and then tried to go with it. This was the funniest one, where I wrote the day in cursive and then wrote the month in block lettering. And then as I look at this page, I'm realizing, as much as I love the color of Colorverse Coffee Break, is that what it's called? Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on that. I think it's Coffee Break. I'll figure that out in a moment. Hi, Fran. Thank you for joining me on this Thursday night. I hope it's a nice bonus for you that you get to plan with me. And I know I've been wanting to do this, and I've had a couple of people request a live planning. And so I'm glad that I was able to get this scheduled tonight. Next time I'll try to give a little bit more notice than maybe, I think I gave like 20 minutes. But yeah, as much as I love the color of this ink, I do not love how long it takes to dry, because it results in a lot of smudging, and it just causes me a little bit of anxiety seeing this kind of messiness right here. But it is the reality, so it is what it is. All right. So tomorrow, my big thing is I am going to start off my day with a workout. I'm going to do a yoga session with my KED group. I ended up doing a workout Wednesday night when I got home from open house at 8:30 at night, and then I did another workout at 5:30 in the morning, and I'll tell you that less than 12 hours was not my favorite between workouts. I like a little bit more of a break. But tomorrow's workout is yoga. We're going to end our week with a nice, relaxing, stretching workout. So we'll do our workout. I'm going to check my budget. I am waiting on a refund of $100 from when we went and stayed at a hotel for my birthday. They charged us two $50 fees and they couldn't account for it. And now they're saying they charged it because we brought the dog, but they never disclosed that that was an additional charge. And when I called the hotel to follow up on, I think it was Tuesday. When did I call them? Oh, right here. Yeah, Tuesday I called the hotel And the woman got a little sassy with me and said, would it make you happy if I reimbursed you? And I said, yes, it would. And then she hung up on me. So I'm now checking my bank account every day to see if I got that $100 reimbursed. Because that came out of my birthday budget. And so when that gets reimbursed, I'm probably going to use it to buy a perfume that my husband got me for our 5-year anniversary 10 years ago. And I love the scent so much, so I want to get another bottle. So I'm going to do my workout, my budget. I have to... Oh, you know what? I can't do that. We're going to carpool tomorrow, so I can't remove the rocker chair from my car. It's going to have to wait until next week. But I am going to call Blue Cross Blue Shield. And I need to talk with my boss regarding attending a conference in October. I also want to talk with her regarding tuition reimbursement. I have to sign up for a dissertation seminar because I haven't yet finished my dissertation. So each semester I have to pay over $1,000 for a 1-credit class in which I'm not doing anything. It doesn't help me at all. It's just a placeholder until I finish my dissertation. So I'm going to see if my new employer will offer any tuition support for that, which would be really helpful. And, you know, can't hurt to ask. So I'm going to ask. And then I need to work on some behavior support plans. Let me check my calendar because I think, I have to submit football picks. And let me see. I'm not going to the crisis team tomorrow, but in place of that, I'm going to do what is that? So I'm going to do a circle here. And I'm doing an upper elementary training consult. That particular classroom needs some training on a number of skills. So myself and the other district BCBA are going to meet with the teacher and the school adjustment counselor to confirm what it is that they need for training support. And then what time is that? That is at 1 o'clock. I'm going to meet with Tori. All right, so I am set for tomorrow. Now I'm going to move into, I'm just going to give that a moment to dry. So I will take a sip of my wine. Now, hopefully you are planning along with me. If you are, yay. If not, that's okay. Hopefully my commentary is enough to keep you entertained. All right. So I'm going to move that aside. I'm going to take out my Hobonichi Cousin. And we are going to go through, you know what? Can I look up my activity data? Maybe not. I thought I had it on here. So I'm really just scrolling through here to see. I guess I don't have. Guess I don't. All right. I would typically pull up activity and put that for last night. I will have to do that off camera because my phone is right here. Okay, so this morning I did a cycle, and I do like occasionally doing a mix between cursive and print. I just think it gives it a nice little touch there. All right, so I did a cycle, a shower. I worked on, in the morning I like to do a little check-in on budget. And then I got into work at about 7:45. And I was there until 3. And then I did some emails here. I had a board of director meeting. That was a little awkward. I went out to dinner with my husband. And then I picked up my son at soccer. Yes, that timing works out. I'm gonna say puppy drama, which I'll get into in a few moments. And then I have my YouTube live. Now going back here, I had a lower elementary consult. I had an upper elementary, consult. I had a, what do we want to call this? I guess it was a student meeting. I did a record review. And then I did check-ins. And multiple students wanted to wrap up their day with me, which was really nice. And I did, what was it that I did? I had a couple of things going on with a number of different people that I struggled with what to put in this time block because I was kind of all over the place. I had spent my morning in the lower elementary and upper elementary, and actually this would be I went to lower elementary, then I went to the upper, then back to the lower, and went to observe a student who was doing a break and he wanted to play zombies, and his paraprofessional had set up gym mats to standing up, so it created this maze. And so he was running around the maze, and I was going on the outside making a growling sound and scratching the mats. And then when I would see him, I would like slam my feet on the floor and move them fast as if I was running after him, but I really wasn't pursuing him. And he was in his glory. It was the cutest thing. Oh my gosh, it made my heart so happy. And then I had to run back over to the upper elementary to do a meeting for a student, and then go to back to the lower elementary. Thankfully, the buildings are connected, but it still was a lot of going back and forth. But but I had to review a student record who is outplaced right now and hopefully coming back into the district. And I'm going to see the student at their outplacement next week. So I just need to get apprised of what's going on. And then when I went back to the middle school, so many students were, oh my gosh, where have you been? Can I have a check-in with you? Can we do this? Can I spend the last block with you? Can I spend the last block with you? And I had to work on some negotiating and compromising, and then I had this other love of a student who is really struggling, and part of her struggle is she is thieving all over the place. She will go into any room that there is an adult in and go through the drawers and things, and snag what she wants. And so she, for whatever reason, has latched on to me, and we're working together on putting together a plan for her to help her make some better choices. And so she had a brag moment today where she saw me and she said, "Guess what? I did this and I did this and I didn't do this and I did this." And it was such a great moment. And I made sure to go follow up with her towards the end of the day and say, I apologize if I was busy, but I want you to know I heard you. And so we have a date tomorrow at the end of the day to keep working on her plan so that she can keep making these great choices. And I'm just so proud of her. I am. Yum. Okay. So that's my memory keeping. Now we're going to get to, and this is the part, I'll be honest, I'm a little nervous about this part because it's just a whole bunch of writing and I feel like I'm just going to sit here quiet while I write, but I've had some people ask about doing journaling live. So what I have been doing is just looking at kind of the pattern of what I'm choosing for colors. So I have my Narwhal, the new Pelican, Tromso, Narwhal. And then the other thing that I do is I look at, thank you, Priscilla. I am blown away by some of the changes that I've already seen. These kids just, goodness, they just need to feel seen. They need to hear positive things. And what I've been training the staff is, and a lot of times people who work with children with special needs, they're told give behavior specific praise. And so then what happens is you have a whole bunch of adults that walk around and say, "Good job." Well, good job what? What does that mean? And so I've been really training the staff to say things like, "I'm so proud of you for," "I appreciate that you," or "when you," "I noticed that you," those kind of statements. And it helps the kids to really feel seen and feel like they're part of this community. And when they feel like they're part of a community, they're going to be able to tap into that intrinsic motivation to do better and to think before they act. Versus if they feel like they're just a nudgy nudge, then why not have at it? Why not just live your best life and do all the sassy things? So we're starting to see that shift with the middle school because I'm there 50% of my day every day. So we're starting to see that shift, which is really nice. So I just took this off because this is the pen that I decided to use for this week for my memory keeping and for my tracking of daily tasks and things. And so because the ink is so low, I'm not going to journal with this because I want to be able to keep using it for the next 3 days. So just helping you get inside my head, that's one of the things that I think about. So that's the case for my Esterbrook Sea Glass. It's also the case for, it's a little harder to see because I took a suggestion and put washi tape, but my Platinum 3776. The ink is right in here. So this is not one that I want to do a journaling spread with because it's not going to make both pages. So I will probably use this in my Happy Hate journal. This one I could use. Let me check my Benu. So my Benu is very similar. I'm probably just going to use this in my Happy Hate journal. Which I'm proud of myself that I'm doing a good job using all of my inks. Hello, AD, welcome. All right, so I'm going to use my Pelikan M400, which is inked up with Birmingham Pen Company Distressed Leather. This is a lovely brown. It's kind of like a KWZ honey, but not scented. Oh, and I forgot to check the weather before I meant to do that before I started, but I wanted this to be kind of as realistic as possible. All right, so today was a low of 49 and high of 72. I was able to wear a jacket today, which I really love. Hello, Faye. New Orleans, it's on my bucket list of places to go. I really want to go there. Please tell me that they make a gluten-free beignet because I need that. Very much so. And Taz, hello. Hi, friend. I do have a few viewers that have been with me since the very beginning. Taz is one. Priscilla, I think you are very close. So if you hear my voice kind of change when I greet some people, it's just I've had a connection with them for a little bit longer. So I always put the weather, or most days put the weather. Some days I do forget, like this one, and I will occasionally go back and look online to see what the weather was, but I find when I go online, it's pulling from a different part of Massachusetts, so it is a few degrees different than where I live, and so I try my hardest not to miss days, but I am human. Ooh, I'm gonna have to look up the Gold Coast Benu and see what that looks like. There's some of their patterns that I really love, and some are just not necessarily my flavor because they're a little too bright, maybe primary color-ish. Yeah. And Taz, I thought of you. I almost did a live yesterday, but I know that you have a commitment on Wednesdays, and so I held off for today. Hello, Yesabel. If I mispronounce that, I'm so sorry. So I put the weather, and then the next thing I do is I put the pen that I'm using. You might hear my son in the background. He's getting ready for a tuck-in. And I did mention earlier that I was going to look up the ink. So it is Colorverse Coffee Break, and you can even see here it's smudged. Ooh, Atlas Stationers. Ugh, I love exclusives. They get me with exclusives. All right, so Faye, I'm going to have to, before I end this live, I'm going to have to write that down. In fact, why don't I have to have paper here. I'm in my office. There's paper. I want to write that down. Sorry, guys. It's important. All right, so we're going to put it right here. So we have Café du Monde. Thank you so much. I'm taking that very seriously. I'm writing it down. All right, and I did have a viewer recently who made a recommendation for using a contrasting color to do some headers, and so I have been doing that, and I'm liking it so far. So I'm gonna keep that up. What am I gonna use though? Let's see. I did really like that combination, so I might do that again because that's pretty. All right, so my contrasting color. Whew. Let's see, what was my big highlights for today? So I'm gonna put a dinner date because I had a dinner date with my husband. And Red Heat is a local restaurant that does a really excellent job with allergens and being very sensitive to that. So at one point, I had a very exclusive diet of no gluten, no soy, and no starch. And so I could go there and say those three allergies or those three sensitivities, and they were exceptionally good at making sure that they operated within those allergies. And I actually, as a joke, brought a friend of mine there and told them that story, and they ordered a meal that I forget the meal, but said that they were allergic to broccoli, and broccoli wasn't even part of the meal. And when they brought the plate, they set it down and said, "Here's your broccoli free," whatever it was. They're just they don't second guess it. They don't judge you. They don't shame you. You don't ever feel like an inconvenience. So I really like Red Heat. And Taz, I've got a glass of wine this evening. Nice little Cape Cod white. All right, so I did a dinner date. I did a Peloton class this morning that was XO Cody. And it was a raunchy raunch one. The ladies that I do my classes with, they both took it this evening because they weren't able to do it this morning. And so we had a whole text chain this evening about how raunchy it was. Cody, sir. Oof. And then I don't know if there was really anything else that was kind of a highlight today. See, now I'm going to have performance anxiety and not know what to journal. I don't know. I don't know if I can do this part. But here goes. I'm just going to kind of write about my day, I guess. Oh, sorry. You probably can hear my son. He's being a little bit loud. Now, while I'm writing, if anyone wants to throw out, and Priscilla, I think you commented on my post on YouTube, but if anyone wants to throw out some ideas that you might want to get for 1,000 subscriber milestone, please do. I'm kind of thinking about perhaps getting an Esterbrook nib with one of their custom grinds. I'm also thinking about one of, sorry, I'm getting way off track at this point, but I happened to be, during my Hobonichi unboxing, I was looking at my turning the page to a new year, and I was reminded that I had a couple of pens on here, for example, the TWSBI Diamond Mini and the Travelers Co. brass pen. Hello, Marie, welcome. So, I was thinking of getting the TWSBI Diamond Mini because it's been on my list all this year and part of, certainly into last year. The Travelers Co. brass pen, I wanted the factory green, but that is no longer in production. So I would have to find a used one, which I'm not against. And then I also was looking at some of the turned pens, or gosh, sorry, it's late, I'm blanking on the word, but getting a pen from, I had Walltown pens here. I would also consider River City Pen or Carolina Pen Co. Oh, the journaler nib is out. Oh, I do like the scribe nib. The Techo, I'm not sure that, I don't know. Gosh, it's such a big milestone, and now I'm getting in my head about it. So I would love some suggestions if you have them. But my husband has asked me to start thinking about what I want, and he's talking about going away for a weekend or things like that. My son wants to get Dairy Queen. Yeah, so we're starting the planning. A customer. Oh, do you mean custom pens? Custom, thank you. I was like, oh, customer pens. That's something I don't know about. I want to learn about that. Yeah, so feel free to drop some suggestions in the comments. And if you hear me sniffling, I think I'm getting sick. Could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Oh, I wanted to show this. Yes, Zodiac Pen Co. does have some really pretty ones. Ooh, Faye, I want to hear what you think about the needlepoint nib. I do love really fine nibs, so I'm very intrigued by that. And I keep looking at the writing samples for journaler versus scribe to see which one I want. I mean, I guess it would be a little, I'm going to use the word belligerent, but I guess I could get both because it's a 1,000 subscriber milestone. So when I do the different sides of my kind of pop words that I do, here's how I do it. So I start here and I try to spell it backwards. And hopefully I can actually, oh my gosh, now I'm thinking I'm not going to be able to spell it. This is so funny. Performance anxiety is real. Yeah, okay, so it is 2 L's. All right. So I spell it backwards. Potential. And then if I do cursive, I kind of eyeball where I think it will fit. All right. Yeah, I wanted to put a question mark. That's okay. So my son was sick this weekend. At the start of this week, he was really hoping to be able to stay homesick, but he didn't have a fever. He just had a runny nose. I'm sure he was feeling run down, and I think I have what he has, or what he had. He did test for COVID. He was negative. I'm probably gonna test. I might test tonight because I'm an anxious person. But I might wait until tomorrow and see how I'm feeling. Oh, yes, Isabel, that is so sweet. I apologize to your bank account. um, Definitely don't go crazy. Uh, I look back at some of the pens that I purchased as I got into this journey and or this hobby, and they're not pens that as I think about it now that I would purchase again, but I also don't want to part with them because they are part of my journey. But just be okay with being thoughtful about your purchases. And just because someone does a video on it doesn't mean that that needs to be added to your collection. But yeah, I'm happy to have you here. And I'm intrigued as you get to know different things to hear kind of what your style is, what your pen style, what your nib style, what your ink style is. And that's what I love about this is you really get to be very individualized in your choices. Oh, and Taz, while I'm thinking of it, I have such FOMO that you have a Mont Blanc. As I've started thinking about the 1000th item, I have gone to the Mont Blanc website. I have gone to eBay to see about secondhand. You dropped that little nugget in my brain and now I can't get it out. So thank you very much. Love you. um, yeah, I'm going to struggle with doing this journaling, guys. I'm doing my best. Um, Marie, I have seen the Dream Bean Benu, and I do really love that one too. That and I think the Venus hairs, I think that's what it's called, are gorgeous. They're in the kind of color palette aesthetic that I like. Did anyone see Karina Loves to Plan her video from today with the new pens that she got? Oh my gosh, it was so beautiful. That Leonardo. So Leonardo is another pen that I was looking at for my 1,000 subscriber. And then the Memento Zero Grande 2.0, it is just out of my price point. Oh my gosh, FOMO versus room. Autocorrect is silly, right? Uh, yeah, so the Leonardo Memento Zero Grande 2.0 is absolutely beautiful. If I got it, I would want a gold nib. That would be a me thing, but I just can't justify spending that much on a pen at this point in time. Um, and so now I want to go look up this new pen that she got and see how much that is. And if it's less, then that might be what I get. Yes. I knew that River City had the nib holders for Kakamori, F Moran 6179. And that's one of those things that I'm probably gonna wait and maybe sometime next year look at getting a custom nib holder because I do have a Kakimori. The shape of the one that she got looks really nice, but it's just not something that I'm inclined to get at this point. Like I said, maybe sometime next year. Um, Oh, yeah, the Kaveco, their new burnt orange color that has a metal body, that one also looks really nice. Ugh, so many choices. So many choices. I think I'm getting like a selection block. It's like, okay, so I could theoretically get most anything that I want, because I have a lovely and supportive husband who sees the value in this hobby, and really, like, when I get done doing this live, the first thing he's gonna ask is how many people were there. And he gets really excited about this. He wants to know, were people participating, did you enjoy it? And so, because he's so supportive, if I were to say to him, hey, I want a Mont Blanc, he probably would say, like, okay. But I know that we have other things that money needs to go to because I do the money management in our family, and I have a hard time justifying that allocation right now as we're just coming off of a summer of one income and we're still rebuilding. Oh, Priscilla, thank you for joining. I'm so happy that you were able to be here. I will try to do more lives, as long as y'all like it and you show up. And even if it's just one person, I'm here for it. I'm going to be doing my planning anyway, so I might as well connect with you all at the same time. Kaya, it is very sweet. Marie, I actually really like the white blob on the end. I think because it's so iconic, I appreciate that, especially if you're getting a vintage Mont Blanc, it's going to have that same white blob, and anyone who is in the pen community is going to see that blob and know what it is. So I don't mind it, but I can totally get that it's not everyone's cup of tea. And I do want another, I think, what did I have on here? I did have a Pilot. I think it might have been the 74 though. Yeah, the Pilot Custom 74. So what is the difference between a 823 and a 74? Hi, M. Sean Plans. How are you? It's nice to see you again. Just realizing I had a board meeting. So that can be something that is highlighted. And I don't necessarily line up these highlight words or phrases with where they're talked about in the journaling. I just place them randomly. Ooh, Peloton is releasing an M200 special edition copper rose gold in October. That sounds gorgeous. I am going to have to look that up because that sounds gorgeous. Love rose gold, love copper, love Peloton, but I've never held an M200. So compared to the M400, is there a size difference? My understanding is that an M200 has a steel nib as opposed to the two-tone 14 karat gold nib. Is that accurate? I don't know that I'd want a pen smaller than a Peloton, but a copper rose gold sounds absolutely wonderful. Okay. I'm glad that I recalled that correctly. Yeah, I did see was it the gold barrel that they had? I think that was their ink of the year last year. Okay, so it's the same size as the M400. That's going to be something I keep my eye on. Does it come with a matching ink? Because that would be really wonderful. So the ink that I'm writing with right now is Birmingham Pen Company Distressed Leather. And from my opinion, it is a lot like KWZ Honey in the base brown color and in some of the shading. So if that's an ink that you like, you would probably like the Birmingham Pen Company Distressed Leather. The downside is if you don't know that brand, they don't do samples. So to get it, you either have to get a sample from someone else who has it or buy the whole bottle. And Birmingham Pen Company, they do take a while to ship out because it's two people who are making the inks and distributing the inks, but the quality is phenomenal. The shading is beautiful. It's a nice lubricated ink. I can't say enough good things about it. So Tina, right after this, I'm looking up that pen. Just saying. And if I get it, that will be because of you. So thank you. We go. So this nib is an extra fine. The Pelikan is a very wet writer. And so even though this is an extra fine, you can see it actually writes a little bit more like a medium, maybe even a broad. So yeah, I have seen the TWSBI Eco Bronze Indigo. It is absolutely gorgeous. I am just having a moment of pause because as much as I love TWSBIs, I do have the TWSBI Eco Glow Green, the TWSBI Eco Glow Purple. I have the TWSBI Eco White, the Diamond 580 white with rose gold, and the TWSBI Eco, I think T, maybe the jade and rose gold, royal jade and rose gold. Do I have any other TWSBIs? I think that's it. So I think if I add another TWSBI to my collection, it's probably going to be a maybe a TWSBI Diamond 580 Mini, or even the TWSBI VAC, just to get a little variation there. Oh, and I do have the TWSBI Goes. I have 3 of these. So it's interesting because when I first got into fountain pens, for whatever reason, I was not a fan of TWSBI. I don't know why. I have no particular reason to not be a fan, but I don't know. I think I was being a kind of an elitist Pilot pen fan. That's what I think it is, because my first fountain pen was a Pilot Metropolitan, and then it was a Pilot Vanishing Point. And then I got another Pilot Vanishing Point. So TWSBIs came much later, and then I kind of exploded and got a whole bunch of them because the price point is really good and the quality is excellent. I know they're not perfect. Nobody's perfect, but in my experience, the quality is excellent and the ink capacity is phenomenal. So yeah, I am thinking about a TWSBI. They have, I want to say there's a TWSBI Diamond 580 that's in an orange color, and I love that. Orange is one of my favorite colors, so that's one of the contenders. So yeah, I'm gonna be thinking a lot about it, and hopefully I get to 1,000 subscribers quickly. I had this surge of about almost 100 subscribers around the time that I did my Hobonichi unboxing. So that's really lovely. I love that support, and I'm hoping that I can continue to grow this channel. You know, if I get to 1,000 and I get monetized, all that money is going to be used for fountain pens, and I will be opening up a P.O. box and putting my address in every video. So that was something my husband and I talked about a while ago, that we would take whatever money I made and put it towards a P.O. box and then this hobby. So anywho, oof, that is a long video. We are at 1 hour and 14 minutes. Oh, a non-silver accent color. Yeah, they do. So they do have, especially lately, they're coming out with a lot of the rose gold accent color, which is really nice. And then the Diamond 580s tend to not have a silver accent color. Yeah. But, okay. It, for me, is after 9 o'clock. So I am going to say goodnight to my son, who got tucked in while I was filming this, and then I am going to finish my glass of wine and head to bed, because I have a 5:30 a.m. yoga class that I am doing. So thank you all for being here. I can't believe how many of you stayed for the majority of this video. I feel so grateful for each and every one of you. And yeah, so let's make this a thing. Let's do this again, maybe next week. What do you guys think? Because that would be fun. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, hi, Barbara. Yes, don't forget to thumbs up. Thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Help me get there. I'm like 30 something people away. All right. All right. Bye, everyone.